Hi guys and welcome to I Love Indies. Kicking things off this week we have the rather wonderful Flynn, Son of Crimson, a 2D pixel art adventure reminiscent of 90s 16-bit platformers. The plot for this one revolves around family bloodlines and your mythical pet Dex, the land's guardian spirit. Drained of all power, it's your job to restore Dex to his former glory and save Rosantica from the evil scourge, Zelok. The game features some of the most breathtaking pixel art of the year, with stunning character animations and intricately detailed environments. There's a Super Mario World-esque overworld map with branching pathways across 4 main areas and a boss at the end of each. Combat is surprisingly deep and reveals itself the more you play. Imbued with Crimson power, you're able to wield a sword, an axe and claws in your fight against the Scourge. Each weapon behaves differently. The axe, for instance, allows you to smash down Crimson barriers blocking your path. You develop the ability to do a super attack once your rage meter is full. This pretty much makes you invincible for a few seconds and allows you to deal more powerful blows. And I must say, the attack animations of all of these weapons are just divine. Flynn also has a secondary projectile attack that can take different forms of elemental power. This is used to defeat enemies, but also solve some of the game's simple but enjoyable puzzles. Light your way with the fireball, freeze water and create frozen platforms with the ice blast, and nullify enemy shields with your electric attack. On top of all this, new abilities can be unlocked in the game's main hub world, with the red shards you pick up along the way acting as currency. Things get mixed up a little later in the game. Once Dex has restored half his power, you can summon him at Guardian statues and ride on his back. Flynn, Son of Crimson meets expectations and then some. Although relatively short, around 6 to 7 hours for the main campaign, there's no padding here. It doesn't reinvent the wheel when it comes to side-scrolling platformers, but it does everything typical of the genre just so well. It's out now on the PC, the Nintendo Switch and Xbox. It's also available on Xbox Game Pass, so if you're a subscriber, there's really no excuse not to play this little beauty. There's something rather Shakespearean about the tragic opening to Tales of Iron, an action RPG with Souls-like combats. You play as Reggie, heir to the Rat Throne. Whilst proving your worth in an arena battle, your father is killed and the kingdom razed to the ground by an evil frog clan. Forced to go up quickly, you take the throne and set out to rescue your rodent brethren and defeat the frog leader Greenwort. Tales of Iron features a fully voiced narrative by Dougie Cockle, the very recognisable Geralt from The Witcher 3. Character interactions are presented through visual speech bubbles instead of text, much like classic point-and-clicker Machinarium. I was initially taken aback by the way Reggie moves. Oftentimes, anthropomorphic game characters don't move like their real-life counterparts. However, our hero scuttles about the areas in true rodent fashion. Equipment such as armour and weapons weigh you down and reduce his movement speed, introducing a risk-reward element to the game. Go out slow and strong, or fast and more vulnerable. The choice is yours. Combat borrows heavily from Souls-like games and primarily features melee weapons such as axes, spears and swords. You can equip a one-handed weapon as well as a two-handed one, along with a ranged bow and arrows. You can dodge and roll, defend with your shield and parry enemy attacks. Enemies have tells giving you a split second to react. Slow and steady wins the race, so they say. Button mashing will get you nowhere here, particularly when it comes to some of the super tough bosses. Tales of Iron is a gorgeous hand-drawn adventure. As someone who grew up reading Brian Jack's Redwall novels, this feels like a fully realised version of those tales come to life. Throw in plenty of influences from Team Cherry's Hollow Knight, and we have a super polished, tough as nails action adventure here. It's out now on the PC and all major consoles. The award for the most exhilarating game of the week has to be Severed Steel, a first-person shooter about a one-armed protagonist on a mission to escape a facility. Inspired by games like Black and Mirror's Edge, Severed Steel features all-out action at breakneck speed with destructible voxel environments. Levels are relatively short and compact, with you tasked with completing objectives such as destroy objects, kill all enemies or get to a location in a specific time. Along the way, you have a whole host of moves at your disposal. You can wall run, Prince of Persia style, double jump, kick down doors and slide around rooms. And best of all, you have a Max Payne-esque bullet time move, which allows you to slow down time as you acrobatically navigate the environments. It's all so cool and so fluid, and once you get into a flow, you'll be dancing through levels with acrobatic finesse. Pulling off stunts and killing enemies keeps your slow-mo bar charged and allows you to dodge enemy bullets. Combat is simple but satisfying. There's no reload, you need to disarm or pick enemy weapons up when you run out of bullets. Alongside the 30 levels that make up the main campaign, there's a challenge mode called Firefight, where you play for high scores on leaderboards, as well as a level editor. It's also a first-person shooter for anyone, with a vast number of accessibility options on offer. With its pumping synth soundtrack, lightning speed gameplay, and gorgeous graphics, Severed Steel is a hypnotic experience. It's out now on PC, with console ports coming soon. TOEM, a photo adventure, features a striking monochrome palette with big bold outlines used for characters and objects in the world. These characters are drawn in 2D, but they exist in a 3D world, with an art style akin to Nintendo's Paper Mario games, albeit without the vibrant colours. The game is an absolute delight to play. It's the sort that will fix a permanent smile on your face. Each biome is so well crafted and features such diverse tasks, taking pictures of things has never been so much fun. This is not the sort of game where you stroll around taking pictures. I'd actually describe TOEM as a puzzle adventure with point and click elements, as most objectives require some thinking outside the box, deciphering clues and finding key objects. It's the little details that make TOEM so special. Outside of the main quest, each world is chock full of things to photograph. Some are connected to achievements, some are needed to complete your photograph compendium book. TOEM is just so wholesome, so aesthetically pleasing, so Moorish, you'll struggle to put this one down. It's out now on the PC, the Nintendo Switch, and also the PlayStation 5. And for my full review of the game, and why I think TOEM is an Indie Game of the Year contender, check out the link in the description below. Skatebird, or should I call it Tiny Hawk's Pro Skater, wears its influences on its sleeve and features your typical skateboarding sim mechanics across a series of imaginative levels. Pull off stunts, grind, ollie and flap about as you try to make friends and put your big friend's life back together. And if that's not enough, you have a squawk button to help you build combos quicker, something Tony Hawk's never had. There's plenty of customizable options and secrets in this one, from collectible mixtapes to wearable clothing and fancy wheel sets to add to your board to make you the coolest bird in town. The controls definitely take some getting used to and are the bone of contention for many reviewers, but the birds are just so adorable you may well be willing to overlook this. If you're on the fence, Skatebird is available on Xbox Game Pass, so can be tried out for free if you're a subscriber. Grind on bendy straws, kickflip over staplers and carve killer lines through cardboard and sticky tape parks now on the PC, Xbox and Nintendo Switch. It's easy to overlook some of the smaller indie gems out this week after all these big hitters, but if you fancy a lovely pixel art platforming adventure with RPG elements, check out Rift Adventure, a game that seeks to educate players about growing up through a fantasy medieval universe where all the characters are animalised. Alternatively, we've got Plague Breaker, a pixel art roguelite that takes inspiration from Dead Cells, Rogue Legacy and the original Castlevania games. By far the most interesting aspect of this one is the game's craft your own class mechanic, allowing you to splice warrior, mage, hunter and rogue abilities together. Plague Breaker is available on the PC via Steam, whilst Rift Adventure is also on PC, but the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well. That is it for another fantastic week of indie gaming. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to I Love Indies and hit that like button. And why not leave a comment below on which of these featured indies most interests you? I really would love to hear from you. You can also follow me on Twitter for curated indies of the day and some super giveaways. My Twitter handle is @IndiesLove. I'll leave you with a game many are already hailing as an indie classic. Eastward is a pixel art adventure RPG set in a beautifully detailed decaying world. As the world around falls to ruin, you play as hard-working digger John, who must guide a mysterious girl named Sam through dangerous cities inhabited by strange monsters and even stranger people. I'll be back with more indie goodness very soon. Until the next video guys, keep loving indies.